Hello everyone, this is a new episode of Let's Talk About Art. So, in today's episode I wanted to talk about Ingeborg Bachmann. I have this wonderful box with 4 books titled Ingeborg Bachmann Werke, which translates into works. So there are all the poems, stories, her novel, unfinished novel, and her Frankfurter Poetikvorlesung. Everything is in here, which is really great. But for me it was quite hard to approach Ingeborg Bachmann. I didn't really know, the poems are quite tough. I mean, she was born in 1926 and she passed away in 1974, I think. So it's a whole different generation, especially the poems. If you are used to 80s, 90s, or 2000s, 2010 poems, contemporary poetry, this is different. Bachmann is different because the time she lived in was different. In 1952 she was invited to the Gruppe 47, the group of German writers, and in 1953 she won the prize of the group 47. And her writing very much is about the time that she lived in, which was very much influenced by the war. And there's this one story, I made my own copy of it. It's called Unter Irren und Mördern, where basically 8 men go into a bar and they drink together, they are friends, but 4 of them are Jewish and they had to leave Europe during the war, whereas the other 4 were soldiers for the army who killed 6 million Jews. And of course the 4 Jewish men, they were victims of the injustice and of the war, whereas the other 4 men, they were they didn't question anything. But what's so interesting is this one point where the 4 men, the soldiers, the former fascist soldiers, they say they don't want to miss the time, the war, because they made so much experience, they gained so many experiences from it, and they grew up with it basically. And then one of the Jewish men says he would be very happy to have missed the war, certainly, and no one really listens to that. And there is this silence around the fact that having been part of the war was a big problem, if I find the right words here. So what I find so interesting though is that the Jewish man who says that he would have preferred to miss the war, that the war didn't happen, he says something that in a way it's a critical thing, even though it's true. And today we look at it and we say, sure, we understand that, but back then it was very hard to say that, if that makes any sense. Yeah, maybe we have to call it a video. And see you next time when it's time again for Let's Talk About Art.